Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be talking about a type of lens that every photographer should have in their camera bag. Yes, we're talking about a Nifty 50. But what happens if you don't have over £200 plus to spend on an OEM 50mm lens? This is where Yongnuo come in with their budget YN F1.8 50mm lens. If you are a Canon user, then you can pick these lenses up for under £50. Us Nikon users aren't quite so lucky, and if you're a Sony user, I'm afraid you're going to get rinsed for a little bit more. That said, these are an amazing bargain compared with the prices of the full Canon, Nikon and Sony equivalent lenses. I have read and watched reviews on the Canon versions of this lens, and one of the criticisms is that the mounting on these lenses is in fact plastic. Luckily for the Nikon user, these are metal. I'm still not sure what the Sony equivalent is like, however it's likely that it's also metal, and that's possibly the reason for the increased cost. I've owned my own particular Yongnuo lens for about 2 to 3 years now, and it's been pretty good. But there have been a few issues, as you'd expect with a budget lens. For the most part the lens works well, and it's easy to achieve attractive shots with nice background blur, ideal for portrait photography. I've actually used this lens a lot for automotive photography, and it gives different results than I would get with the typical Nikon lenses that I have for the camera. If you've watched recent videos, you'll have noticed that I've used this lens for some woodland photography and also for doing some macro photography, where I've used it in conjunction with the Raynox 250 macro adapter I own. But there have been a few issues. One of the issues is a communication error between the camera body and the lens. What often happens is you get a message on the back of the camera saying that there is no lens attached. But it's a simple fix. Simply switch off the camera, unmount the lens, mount the lens back on, switch the camera back on, and all's good again. Luckily this is a fairly rare occurrence, but all the same it's quite annoying when you're out in the field doing some photography. The second issue I have with the lens is quite often the autofocus hunts around quite a lot, so it's much easier to actually flick it into manual and just take a shot like that. One last concern with this lens, and it may be down to this particular example, is that I've noticed that sometimes if I'm stood in front of something very symmetrical, like the front of a car, you'll take the photograph and one headlight will be perfectly sharp and the other one slightly out of focus, and I don't know if it's just a fault on this particular lens or whether it affects other ones as well. Those issues aside, I'm really happy with the results I get with this lens, and I think it's still worth the investment. Yes, I'm sure that the Nikon or Canon equivalent of this lens is probably far superior optically, but when you remember that this lens is a quarter of the price of the Nikon F1.8 50mm lens, then this has got to be the ultimate budget 50mm lens for a hobby photographer without a lot of money to spend. This video is not sponsored by Yongnuo. I just think that this little lens offers great value for money and is a great addition to any photographer's camera bag. If you like content like this, then please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again in a future video. Bye for now.